What if she's also doing no contact with you? That question alone has a way of hijacking your focus. It pulls your attention outward, into silence you can't read and intentions you can't verify. Suddenly, the mind starts filling the gaps. Is she waiting? Is she testing? Is she hurting? Is she already moving on? This is where most men lose their footing, not because of the silence itself, but because they try to interpret something that offers no answers. Stoicism teaches that the fastest way to lose peace is to obsess over what lies outside your control. Her silence is not a message, it's an absence, and the danger isn't that she's also doing no contact, it's that you start turning no contact into a mental battlefield. Who will break first? Who feels it more? Who has the upper hand? The moment your focus shifts there, you're no longer practicing no contact. You're practicing attachment in disguise. Here's the deeper truth. When both people go silent, the situation becomes neutral. Silence against silence cancels out all strategy. There's no signal to react to, no move to counter, just space. And space is only threatening if you don't know how to stand in it. The Stoics believed that stillness reveals character because it removes distraction. When nothing is happening externally, everything internal comes into focus. This video isn't about guessing what she's doing. It's about what you must do regardless of what she's doing, because the man who waits for clarity from someone else remains powerless, while the man who uses silence to reclaim himself becomes unshakable. If this resonates, take a moment to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to Stoic Blessing, and turn on notifications to become a Stoic soldier. Because when silence meets silence, the one who regains self-command first is the only one who truly wins. When you realize she's also doing no contact, the mind wants to turn it into a mirror. You start comparing silences, measuring days, wondering whose resolve is stronger. Stoicism warns against this immediately. Comparison is a trap. The moment you compare your inner state to someone else's behavior, you hand over control of your peace. Ask yourself this honestly. What would knowing her intentions actually change? If she's waiting, does that restore your calm? If she's not, does that destroy it? Either way, your stability becomes dependent on information you don't have and can't verify. That's not strength, that's surrender. The Stoics were ruthless about this distinction. They taught that anything outside your control is irrelevant to your tranquility. Her silence is outside your control. Your response to it is not. The moment you stop tracking her no contact and start governing your own, the anxiety begins to loosen its grip. This is why just do this is simpler than people expect. You stop treating no contact as a shared event and start treating it as a personal discipline, not a standoff, not a test, a boundary between your inner world and everything you cannot command. When you do that, it no longer matters who breaks silence first, because your peace is no longer waiting on a sound. Here's the mistake most men make when both sides go silent. They wait, not patiently, tactically. They pause their life, their growth, their decisions, all while watching the silence like it's a timer counting down to something meaningful. Stoicism calls this a hidden form of attachment. You're technically not reaching out, but mentally, you're still there. If she's also doing no contact, silence becomes a vacuum, and vacuums expose weakness fast. If your mind keeps returning to the question, who will break first, then no contact is no longer serving you, it's draining you. The Stoics taught that anything that steals your attention repeatedly has power over you. Silence is only powerful if it gives you space, not obsession. This is where the real work begins. You stop treating silence as a pause in the story and start treating it as the story. You don't wait for something to happen. You build something while nothing is happening. Your routines tighten. Your discipline sharpens. Your identity stops orbiting an outcome. When both sides go quiet, the man who uses that quiet to rebuild himself is no longer playing the same game. He's not waiting to reconnect. He's reconnecting with himself. And once that happens, the silence stops feeling heavy. It becomes useful. If she's also doing no contact, here's the Stoic truth most people never hear. You don't respond to that situation. You transcend it. Silence on both sides removes all external signals. There's nothing to read, nothing to interpret, nothing to react to. And that's precisely why this moment is so revealing. When the noise stops, whatever remains inside you becomes impossible to ignore. Stoicism teaches that discomfort is not a problem to solve, but a condition to endure with intelligence. When both sides are silent, the urge to act isn't about connection, it's about relief. Relief from uncertainty, relief from not knowing, relief from sitting alone with your thoughts. The Stoic move is to refuse false relief and choose long-term stability instead. This is where no contact stops being about her entirely. You stop asking, "What does her silence mean?" and start asking, "Why does this silence bother me?" That question shifts power immediately, because now the work is internal, and internal work always pays permanent dividends. When both people are silent, the man who can remain grounded without answers becomes unshakable. He doesn't need to break silence to regain control, because control has already returned to where it belongs. Here's where clarity begins to replace confusion. When both of you remain silent long enough, one of two things happens internally. Either the silence starts to hollow you out, or it starts to fortify you. Stoicism teaches that the difference lies in how you use the space. Silence doesn't weaken a man by itself. It reveals whether he has an inner structure to stand on. If your days feel empty, if your thoughts keep circling the same questions, if you're replaying memories instead of building momentum, then no contact has turned into stagnation. And stagnation is not discipline. The Stoics warned that idleness of the mind is where suffering multiplies. Silence without purpose becomes a breeding ground for anxiety. But if you give the silence a direction, everything changes. You start filling your time with deliberate action, training your body, sharpening your mind, restoring order to parts of your life that were neglected. You stop waiting for a message and start becoming someone who wouldn't abandon himself just to receive one. When both sides are silent, the man who grows during that silence wins regardless of outcome. Because growth doesn't depend on her decision, it depends on yours. And once you choose growth, silence stops feeling like deprivation. It starts feeling like preparation. If she's also doing no contact, this is the moment where intention matters more than endurance. Many men pride themselves on holding out, but Stoicism isn't about how long you can suffer. It's about how intelligently you respond to reality. Endurance without direction is just delayed collapse. Discipline with purpose is transformation. Ask yourself this: if the silence lasted another month, would your life improve or stall? The Stoics believed this was the true measure of self-command. If your progress depends on her breaking no contact, then she still controls the timeline of your peace. That's not strength. That's deferred dependence. The correct Stoic move is to detach your improvement from her behavior completely. You train, you work, you rebuild, you refine, as if the silence were permanent. Not pessimistically, but honestly. Because when you live as if closure may never come, you stop chasing it. This is where anxiety fades. Not because answers arrive, but because the questions lose importance. Silence stops being something you survive and becomes something you outgrow. And once you outgrow it, it no longer matters who breaks no contact, because your life is no longer paused, waiting for sound. At this stage, something subtle but decisive happens. You stop checking the silence for meaning. You no longer wake up wondering if today is the day something changes. The mind, once obsessed with possibility, starts to settle into reality. Stoicism teaches that peace comes not from hopeful outcomes, but from acceptance of what is. If she's also doing no contact, and you've reached this point, the silence no longer feels like rejection or tension. It feels neutral, and neutrality is powerful. It means your emotional state is no longer being shaped by absence. You are no longer in reaction, you are in control. This is where many men unknowingly regain their power. not because they won no contact, but because they stopped needing it to end. The Stoics believed that the man who is content with what is cannot be manipulated by what might be. When the future loses its grip on your emotions, the present becomes solid ground. From here on, whether she reaches out or never does becomes secondary. Your life is no longer organized around the silence. It's organized around your values, your discipline, and your direction. And once that happens, silence stops being something to endure. It becomes proof that you've learned how to stand alone without falling apart. This is also where the meaning of no contact finally becomes clear. It was never meant to be a tactic to trigger emotion in someone else. It was meant to remove emotional dependency from you. When both people go silent, the illusion of control evaporates. There's no move left to counter, no signal left to decode, just reality standing still. Stoicism teaches that when illusion falls away, truth remains. And the truth here is simple. If someone is meant to return to your life, they won't need pressure or strategy to do so. And if they're not, no amount of waiting or guessing will change that. Silence exposes this without cruelty, without drama. At this point, you stop seeing no contact as a test and start seeing it as a filter. It filters desperation from discipline. It filters attachment from self-respect. It filters the version of you who needed reassurance from the version of you who can stand without it. When you reach this stage, the outcome no longer defines you. Contact or no contact, your direction stays the same. And that's when silence loses its power to intimidate you. Because you're no longer using it to get something back, you're using it to move forward. Now you reach the point most people never talk about. The moment no contact stops feeling like something you're doing and starts feeling like something that simply is. You're no longer measuring days. You're no longer wondering who's holding out longer. The silence has blended into your life so completely that it no longer defines it. Stoicism teaches that true freedom appears when you are no longer negotiating with the future. You're not waiting for a message to validate your growth. You're not hoping silence ends so life can resume. Life has already resumed, without permission, without announcement. This is where real power returns. Not the kind that comes from winning a standoff, but the kind that comes from not needing one. You've stepped out of the emotional loop entirely. And when you step out, there's nothing left to pull you back in. At this stage, even if she were to reach out, it wouldn't shake you the way it once would have. Not because you're closed off, but because you're grounded. You would respond from choice, not urgency, from clarity, not hunger. And that's the Stoic victory. Not silence for silence's sake, but silence that carried you to a place where silence no longer controls you. So what if she's also doing no contact with you? In the end, it turns out that question was never the point. The real shift happened when you stopped needing the answer. When you stopped tracking her silence and started governing your own life. That's when no contact stopped being a strategy and became a turning point. Stoicism teaches that power doesn't come from guessing intentions or winning silent standoffs. It comes from self-command, from using stillness to rebuild yourself instead of waiting to be chosen again. When both people go quiet, the man who grows in that quiet is the only one who truly benefits, regardless of how the story ends. You didn't lose anything by staying silent. You gained clarity, you gained discipline, you gained the ability to stand alone without collapsing into doubt. And once you can do that, silence can never threaten you again. Whether she reaches out or never does, you've already reclaimed what mattered most, your direction. And that's the Stoic answer to no contact. Not reaction, not speculation, just steady forward movement. If this message resonated, take a moment to like the video, leave a comment sharing what no contact has taught you, subscribe to Stoic Blessing, and turn on notifications to become a Stoic soldier. Because no contact isn't about who breaks first, it's about who becomes stronger while no one speaks.